to another episode on our YouTube series on spatial analysis and GIS. And today I'm going to be showing you how you can be able to generate slope maps using digital elevation model and ArcGIS software. If you don't know how to download and get a digital elevation model, I think you should watch my previous video on how to download and how to create digital elevation model. This will help you for this tutorial. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So this is your ArcGIS interface, and we already have our digital elevation model, which we have already converted to a projected coordinate system. So for you to be able to do this, you need to convert your digital elevation model to a projected coordinate system. That is, if your digital elevation model is on geographic coordinate system. So you need to convert to projected coordinate system so that the system can be able to calculate the distance at each change in elevation and be able to generate a slope map for you. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come to your ArcGIS toolbox, click on it here. I already have my own down here. You can see it, Arc toolbox. But for the benefit of those who doesn't have their own already, I'm going to show you from the beginning. That's the step. So now that we already opened our Arc toolbox, so you can see my own is here too. I've already added mine here, but it's also here. Okay, so now I've opened my Arc toolbox. I'm going to go to Spatial Analyst tool, and I'm going to expand that. And I'm going to go to my surface, which is surface analysis. I'm going to expand that too. So under surface analysis, you can see my aspect, contour, and the rest of them. So we are going to be focusing on slope, how we can be able to generate slope. So I'm going to double click on the slope, and it's going to open up this interface. So the next thing I'm going to do is to fill in this information. So we have input raster. So I'm going to click here and add the raster, which is our digital elevation model. So it's going to ask me for an output raster. So what am I going to be saving it with? I'm going to call it I'm going to go to my working folder where I normally save it. So I have a folder for this my tutorial, which I call tutorial folder, and mapping. So inside here, I'm going to save it as slope. You can decide to write the location so that you can be able to know when you go through your files. So NSK. So I'm going to add .tif to the file, .tif, and press save. So under here, you can see output measurement optional. So you have degree and a percentage rise. So we are going to be using degree for this particular analysis. So we are going to be using degree so that you can see the degrees of slope at various intervals. So now that I'm done, you can see that the Z unit is in meters. If you have not converted your digital elevation model to a projected coordinate system, you will not see this meter. So we need this meter to be able to, calculate properly. So now that I'm done, I'm going to click on OK, and the system is going to process it and process the slope. So now the system is done. So you can see your slope. So this is your slope map. So if I go back to my table of content, I can see my slope map added here. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to style my slope to get the layout which I want. So you can see that the system automatically gave us 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 classes. Normally the system by default normally gives 9 classes. So you can decide to expand your slope to a number of classes which you want. So I'm going to right click here and click properties. You can also alternatively double click on here to open up the properties. So under these properties, I'm going to see our slope classification. So currently our slope is on natural gems. So you can decide to make it equal interval or whatever you need. So if you go to classify here, you're going to see natural breaks. Click on this drop down. You can see equal interval, defined water. You can also define your interval, but let's use equal interval. So it's going to ask us for number of classes. Let's say we want to give it a 10 class. So we say 10 classes. And then we're going to press OK. And let's apply and see. So you can see the application, you can see the interval. So the next thing you might want to do, because our slope is in degree, is to reduce the number of decimals we have here, right? So I'm going to click on here and format, and under numeric I'm going to click on decimal places. I can say 0, so I can have a whole number. I can use one decimal place. So I'm pressing OK and apply. So you can see that our slope is now classified from 0 to 3, 4 to 6. I can also decide to add 2 decimal places, 2, and press OK and apply. So you can see 2.91, 2.92. I think this one represents it properly, because by our original data we have 2.91111. So I'm going to press OK. So I generated my slope, and this is my slope map. So the next thing you might want to do is to now export your slope. Also here on this label here where we have value, I can also edit here, click on it twice, but not simultaneously, just twice, 1, 2, like that. And I can open up this label, and I'm going to call it slope, and then bracket I will put degree, so that when somebody looks at your slope map, the person will understand that this is a degree slope and not a percentage rise. Okay, so this is how you can be able to create slope map using ArcGIS. So also you can also decide to do other things within this toolbox, like creating a hue shade, a contour, and other things. So we can also create the percentage rise. Let's see what the percentage rise look like. So I'm going to do the same process again, slope, and I'm going to call it slope percent, and save. Okay, so instead of degree here, we are going to call it percentage rise, and we are going to press OK. So the system is going to analyze it, and this is your slope by percentage rise. So you can see the value is different. This is 0 to 3, 3.42. So depending on what you need to do with your slope map, you can use either degree or percentage rise. So you can see the difference. You can see the difference. So that is it. So that's all about how to create a slope map using ArcGIS. And thank you. And don't forget to drop your comments, like, subscribe, and follow us for more videos on GIS and spatial analysis. Thank you.